I was just listening to Suzanne Cheng. I follow her on YouTube. And if you follow her, you will understand where I'm coming from too, because it's the same. It's the same trauma that's not even seeable. It's psychological neglect. And it's nobody's fault, because my parents, my siblings, they all come from trauma and neglect as well. So everybody's trying to get their needs met through others. And as far as I can remember in my childhood, and like Suzanne, I was brought up by really good parents, but they were survivors in their time. And what really tugs at my heart is that there was so much going on in our family, so much pain, so much control issues, that I was the holder of it. I appeared like I had it all together. I didn't need a lot. I didn't have a lot of, demanding needs like my other siblings did. So I just went quiet and silent and held on to that trauma without really recognizing what I was doing. And I guess what that meant was that I didn't have any needs, because having needs created trauma, created problems, created stress, and created a threat. So I didn't want any threat. So what I did was I just held on to other people's pain. And I thought that was love. But self-neglect, nobody knew I was feeling neglected. Nobody knew that I was feeling alone, that I wasn't getting my needs met. They did the best they could. And so even in my adult life, like Suzanne too, always being the placeholder, the container to hold other people's pain and other people's trauma, acute trauma, like acute stuff that happened in my life as an adult. I was trauma bonded with certain people that I loved. And those bonds were destroyed because I couldn't hold their trauma anymore. And they thought that I stopped loving them because I stepped out of the relationship. I couldn't love them in that way anymore, as a holder for their pain, as a holder for their traumas, and desperately trying not to neglect them because they felt so neglected. But in the process, I ended up feeling neglected, and that my pain didn't mean anything to them, that they couldn't recognize my own pain. I was traumatized by their trauma. I was traumatized because I was holding on to pain that wasn't even mine. And I held on to it for years and years and years. And I was resentful at the end. Trying to hold on to a relationship, trying to keep the bond from completely getting annihilated. even after it was annihilated, I pretended it wasn't. I pretended that everything was fine, that I had it all together. But that's my fantasy identity, that Nina has it all together. Nina has it all figured out. So Nina doesn't need anything. Nina doesn't need attention. Nina doesn't need care, because she knows how to take care of herself. And everybody's out for themselves. But that's why I can't continue in relationships where the people are still traumatized, when they're still acting out that behavior, and I can't hold that energy anymore. I can't take it from them. And I don't even sometimes trust myself that I won't, because it's such a natural psychological pattern that I just do automatically, and then I feel like crap. I feel invisible. I feel erased. I feel like I don't matter, and they don't even know it. They don't even know what's happening on the inside of me. And if I say anything, they won't understand, because they don't know where I'm coming from. It's like, because I've held on to it for so long, they have no clue my pain. And I don't know what happens from here on out. I just enjoy the sunshine. There's sun. There's a lake. There's a picnic table right here. There's painting rocks. There's painting on watercolor paper. There's campfires. There's birds galore. Lots of birds, different kinds, different sounds, different chirping. And this is my healing. This is my sanctuary, being out here in nature. So, hand on the heart, feet on the ground, and breathing in that fresh mountain air. Yeah. Take care of whatever needs to be taken care of here. And I'm done taking care of what's over there. Because that ain't my business anymore. It never was. But I'm not going to make it my business anymore. Because this is, right here is my business. Yeah. Thank you, Suzanne. This is in honor of Suzanne Chang, a non-duality speaker that I've been following for years now. I can relate. Thank you.